Jaleayah Davis, pictured right here, died in Parkersburg area out on the interstate, on Interstate 77, on 11/19/11. Does that number sound like anything you've ever heard of before? 11/19/11, 911, nines and ones. Now, this gal here does a broadcast series called Mile Marker 181. You'll have no trouble finding it if you search for it. She has made no attempt to answer any of my attempts to contact her that I'm aware of, though I've tried several times. This murder, and I do say murder, was clearly and conspicuously and obviously planned ritualistically. One of these days, I'm going to go let the newspapers know what we understand. Let me show you some of the articles when they happened, when they were written. Here is an article from the Marietta Times. In this area, there are two local newspapers, the Parkersburg News and Sentinel and the Marietta Times. I want you to see the date, 4/6/2013. Not this one. This is I don't know, the date of the paper or something that day, but this is when the article came out, okay? 4/6/2013. What do we know about the word, or about the number 46? If you go to gematrinator.com, which lets you see, oh, by the way, the article says folded clothes. Now you can see that if you see the pictures, they don't look folded, okay? Look at the pictures real quick. I want to go back to 4/6 in a second, but since that was on there, see, here's what the clothes looked like. And yet the articles say that they had folded clothes. Well, that don't look folded to me, but the reason that they said that in the article, and we'll get more into it, is because folded clothes is 223, like skull and bones. So we're going to get more into that number here in a minute. But let's go back to 4/6, the date of the first article in Marietta Times. 4/6 is the word sacrifice. 4/6. You see that? Now, also, that date, 4/6/13, let's check this out. Sorry, I'm passing it. Come on. My computer's running slow here. 4/6/13. Now, right here, you see that it is the 96th day of the year and leaves 269 days left in the year. Now, the word Saturn, and yes, this was a Saturnian ritual, equals 69. Now, she died on 11/19/11. Now, that's one off. That's the 323rd day of the year. One off from 322. So instead of 323, it's 322. And that leaves 42 days left in the year. Look at the date she died here. Okay? I'm probably confusing people, so look at this. 42 days left in the year on the day she died. That is the number that is stamped all over Black history. We know this number very well in the Gematria community. If you're new to it, it doesn't mean anything to you until we explain it. Like the word February. Okay, Black History Month is in February. February equals 42, and look, 96. Like Saturnian Black Ritual, okay? You get it? Starting to follow yet? Now, words like Jackie, like Jackie Robinson, 42, you see? Like slavery, is 42. Like LeBron James. I think it's another cipher. No, it is. It's right here, 42 and full reduction. Motown Records in Detroit on the 42nd parallel. Martin, the TV show, is 42. Lived in apartment number 42. Malcolm X equals 42. You see? The N-word equals 42. Ferguson, where the riots are, that's, oh, did I spell it wrong? Yeah, there it is, Ferguson, 42. You know, Missouri, known for its role in slavery in the past. So you get the idea, okay? So 11/19, the day she died, that 42 days left in a year. And April 6th, a date known for as sacrifice, 4/6 equals sacrifice, leaves 96, is the 96 days in the year, leaves 269 days left in the year. Now, that is just one of the articles. Let's go to the next one. Now, this one in the Marietta Times was on August 15th. Let's see what's so special about August 15th. Go back to where I was here. August 15, 2018. Now, this is the 227th day of the year. The media, yes, local media, big media as well, all use pi to commemorate that a story has gone full circle and to bring a reference back to something that has happened. 22 divided by 7 is 3.14, or pi. This is not an accident. You'll even see that from her death to this, 6 years, 8 months, and 27 days. 27, like the word ritual, okay, is 27. Obviously, this is a ritual. And it's 27 right here, 227, like pi, because pi has to do with circles, and so the story has gone full circle. But get this, days left in the year, 138 days left in the year. That number 38 is very well known in the gematria community as the word for murder. Okay, 38, like and 83, like murder by numbers from the police, came out in 83. Okay, and even their picture, their advertisement replaced 2 of the letters in murder by numbers with 3 and 8. This is very well known numbering. Okay, so we have memory, or pi, 138 on the day this article came out. That is not an accident, it's not a mistake, not a coincidence. Here's another one. Get this. Okay, here, this is from the Marietta Times again. March 22nd, 2013. What is so crazy again about 322? That is the skull and bones number. Okay, everybody knows a whole lot about that, and how George Bush was in Skull and Bones. That's not him, is that? Somebody else. But George Bush was in Skull and Bones. That's why when Tim Russert interviewed him and John Kerry about being in Skull and Bones, a week later, Tim Russert was found dead at 322. Or maybe it's 223. One or the other. Because they can read it forward or backward. It's based in Genesis 3:22. Now, which, by the way, the first part of the verse, Genesis 3:22, if you put it in the calculator, it equals 322. Not by mistake. Now, so, yeah, I was just saying, oh, yeah, and when George Bush Sr. died, younger George Bush showed up at the funeral. It was reported at 322. There's a reason they do that, okay? It's a skull and bones, obvious ritual number. So when this article comes out on 322:13, it means something. They're referring to this was a sacrifice by... Then, see, this is the thing. This is what really ticks me off. They know it. Okay, these newspaper people know it, and yet they don't tell anybody. How crazy is that? They just let this go unpunished, and so there it means, as far as I'm concerned, they have to be complicit. So let's see, 322:13 is the date of this article. All right. So, and it is the 81st day of the year. Remember what we just said? Ritual equals 27 and 81. See how carefully they do this? And this is in a freaking local Nowhereville, West Virginia. Parkersburg, West Virginia. If you didn't know me, how many of you would even know anything about that? And look, from the November 19 to 322, look at this. This is just 1 year, 4 months, 3 days. That's a scrambling of the numbers of pi. 3.14. Not a freaking coincidence. 322 plus 22 plus 13 equals 58. Why is that number important? Because Freemasonry equals 58. This girl was killed by secret societies. She was a sacrifice. She was a black person's sacrifice. And just like here, look at this. Divine Feminine equals 9/11. See? She died on 11/19/11. Okay, same numbers. Not by mistake. And right down the road from there is a Masonic institution called Ben Bay Grotto. And Ben Bay was a real person, a black person, who lived at the time of George Washington, who didn't get the credit for possibly having drawn the streets of Washington, D.C., laid out. It wasn't the Frenchman. I can't think of his name right now. But a lot of people say Ben Bay is the one that actually drew out Washington, D.C. Well, this grotto is named after him, a black man. He didn't get credit because he was black. Okay? That's how it worked back then. Now, no, I don't agree with it. I'm just telling you, that's history. Okay? Well, when was Ben Bay born? 11/19. Just like the day that she was killed. Coincidence? Come on, really? Come on, how many times? How many times? So we got the 322, we got the 815, which was the 227th day of the year. We got April 6th, like sacrifice, on the 96th day of the year. And where was the other one? There was the Parkersburg one. 1, 2, 3. I must have accidentally erased it. But the other one, the Parkersburg News and Sentinel article, was on 314. Let me see if I can find it again real quick, because I didn't realize I erased it. So I'm just going to type it in, because that's how I found it last time real quick. Parkersburg News and Sentinel, Jaleayah Davis. And I'll show you. Now this is right here on 314. Let's see, I think it was this one. There it is, 3/14/2013. Again, pi, 3.14. Not a freaking coincidence. Now 3/14/13. Look at this. 73rd day of the year. Why is that important? Sacrifice, it equals the 46 we were saying earlier, from the article on 4:6, and also 73. If I confused you, go back and write it down. I don't mean to confuse anybody. I want everybody to get this. I want people to understand that this was an intentional murder of a black person done by ritual in conjunction with black history, okay? Done by a secret society. It's clear. It's obvious. And it's time that we stand up and do some protesting and get these people out of our town and find out who did this. And was it the people at the Ben Bay Grotto? Was it some other secret society? The clothes were on a guardrail. Guardrail equals 42. Our black history number. That must have been another. Let's see. Guardrail equal. Oh, no, there it is. 402 in Jewish. Yeah. In Gematria, zeros aren't important. So there it is, 402. Same as 42. The next lunar eclipse was on 6/4, the opposite of 4/6, like sacrifice is 46. The next lunar eclipse is on 6/4/2012, after this murder. And 6 plus 4 plus 20 plus 12 is 42. Black history done by the eclipse. You get it? Do you understand? If this is going on in nowhere, West Virginia, this is going on in your town too. And it's time to start taking notes of your stories. And it's time to start letting these newspapers and our local media know, yeah, we're on to you. We know you know. We know that you know who did this. We know that you're complicit in using the same numbers to code what happened. So you obviously know who did it, or you wouldn't be able to come up with the same numbers to code it like this. Either that or you're covering it up and you're using these numbers to cover it up amongst yourselves. But why would you do that? Because nobody knows this code anyway. I'm like one of a billion people, right? So you're not a billion. I mean, this community is waking up pretty fast. We were talking about 73 being the number for sacrifice. Like, she'd actually died in just outside of Parkersburg. It was actually a town called Williamstown, even smaller than Parkersburg, which equals 73, you know? She lived in Marietta, Ohio, which equals 73, you see? And she was just clearly a sacrifice. Sacrifice equals 73, just like ritual sacrifice. You know? Obvious what's going on here. So, I've said a lot of these other numbers before in past videos, but it needs to be said again. It needs to keep being said until somebody gets it. Later. Oh, please like, share, and subscribe. Later.